Yo, 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 it is your boy Nice versus Wild, and you're listening to another episode of Be a Wolf Sessions. But guess what? It's not just another episode, it's session number 200. 200 Mondays in a row. If you've been listening every single week, every single Monday, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And honestly, I can't believe Wolf showed up for 200 Mondays in a row. I remember when I first started this, no shit. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I was literally freestyling like I am right now. And probably like 99% of these sessions have been zero scripting. It's literally just been off the bat. And if you go listen to majority of the sessions, there's some really amazing audio ones, but I haven't been able to show up with my face as consistent as I want to. And it's honestly because, if I'm completely honest, trying to run a creative agency, trying to build businesses, trying to build relationships, managing those stakes are very difficult. But guess what? We've showed up 200 Mondays, recorded 200 Mondays in a row, whether it's audio, video, every single Monday, for you to go back and listen to the start of my journey to the point I'm at now. That is something crazy. And I go back and listen to some of my 1 to 50 episodes, and they're absolutely garbage. But guess what? Looking back now and listening to it, and the amount of learnings, the reflection, the ideas, the thoughts, the comms, you name it, and talking to people now about it and the learnings I've had now, it's fundamentally priceless. And hopefully this session is not me really teaching you anything, because to be honest, fuck my story. It's never been about what I do or what I've done, because the greatest story that you write, right? It's not the one that you see, not the one that you read. It's the one that you write yourself. And I think it's important to understand that, especially early in this conversation, because you're probably like, who the fuck is this guy? Well, my name is Nazul Sashil. I'm a full-time creative entrepreneur from South Auckland. I was born in a rural Fijian village called Lambasa, Bunileka, and my mission in life is to write a story that beats longer than my heart. Now, I definitely don't have no hair. This episode is sponsored by Feature Weddings, Feature Studio, Feature the Creative Agency, you name it, and Startup, Scale Up, and Grow Up, the book that came out on the 20th of November, 2025. All right, 200 sessions. What am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about you have to start before you're ready. Yes. I remember the first session I ever recorded was in a dark bedroom. On the bed, I had the same mic, to be honest, because we haven't upgraded the mic, that's for sure. The same mic. No, actually, I didn't have this mic. I had a shitty, another version of this mic. I got this mic like session number 15, actually. And sitting on the bed, talking about like my crazy ideas of like breaking every single stereotype on this planet. Talking about business like I knew what I was talking about. Talking about things like, you have to try before you're ready. You got to do things before you're ready. You got to do this, you got to do that. And fuck, man, when I listen back now, I'm like, shit. That kid that had like all that ambition, right? That was the superpower. And nowadays, like, I've dreamt of things, I've lived them now. Stealing that quote from David Dallas, but like, literally, I have. And I've done things that I'm super proud of, and I've done things that I'm not super proud of. But the things that have really worked out have come in magical ways where I didn't expect it was going to come. But it was from the act of trying, from the act of giving things a go, even though I wasn't feeling ready for it. A lot of people said I couldn't talk. I was stuttering too much. I was saying ums too much. I was saying this and that. But like, no one was trying to improve. And I think when you have the courage to try to improve, I think that needs to be talked about way more, because that's the superpower that's going to make you a creative entrepreneur. That's the superpower that's going to make you a 6-7-figure entrepreneur. That's the superpower that's really going to define all the odds. And if you feel like an underdog right now, and trust me, I've been in your shoes multiple times, I think you have to embrace that, because you literally have nothing to lose. There's nobody watching. There's nobody listening. So I want this session to be empowering in a way that whatever start you're on, whatever story that you're writing right now, stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and start writing your story. Stop looking at people and being like, holy shit, how did they do it? Start writing your story, because the sooner you start writing your story, the more learnings, the more experience, the more trial and error, the more magic that's going to come by. And I think this is important because there's been a lot of times in my journey where I felt like, you know, I could have taken that step quicker. I could have, gone for that goal sooner, but I didn't. And I think everyone makes those mistakes, especially early in their journeys as a founder, as a creative, as an entrepreneur. Especially when that, self-doubt creeps in and you feel like you're on this journey by yourself. And I think it's important to talk about it in a way that you can hopefully relate to, because I come from a place where, you know, being a creative entrepreneur isn't really celebrated. Firstly, you don't really, people think you can't really make money, or you can't build businesses, or there might be a facade, or you come from a community that, it may be low social economic, and you feel like you've got all these ideas in your head, but your environment isn't backing it. If you're feeling all of those things, I need you to go back to listen to every single session up to this point. And maybe you're right now, you're on that KFC drive-through, or maybe you're working at a fast food joint and you're like, holy shit, how the fuck did I end up here? And deep in your heart that you can give this world something much more. If you genuinely feel like that, I want you to go back and listen to every single session, because there's going to be something there that's going to spark light, spark thought. And I need you to deeply think about your origin story and really embrace your origin story as much as you possibly can. Because if I'm completely honest, there was a bit of a period in my life where I was trying to shy away from my origin story. And I think the more you can be in it and really be authentic to it. And I know people say like, be authentic, do this, be yourself. Like, that shit's hard when you don't even know who you're becoming. And a lot of times, all these magic words get thrown out. But my key learning is, in order to find yourself, it goes back to this first conversation. You have to be, you have to have the courage to genuinely try, but not try just for one day. Try over and over again. And I'm meaning weeks by weeks, maybe 200 Mondays to get to this position to be like, holy shit, you actually did it. You showed up 200 Mondays in a row talking about the things that you genuinely care about, and you actually acted from a place of deep desire, deep love, and you might have not made much money, but you kept going no matter what. Because a lot of times we do things when there's an outcome attached, but not very often we'll do things when there's no outcome attached. Because when you do things when there's no outcomes attached, there's some crazy outcomes come at you from all directions that you didn't expect. And that is the greatest feeling ever. 200 sessions. Hard and fast key learnings, all right? You get whatever you want in life if you try. If you help enough people get what they want, you will always get what you want. Another lesson, do things in the act of doing and learning rather than the act of obtaining an outcome. And learning number 3, some episodes are going to be shit, man. Some days are going to be shit. It's not going to be great. You gotta learn from the learnings. You got to show up repetitively and listen to yourself. And you listen to that intuition. I remember when I first started recording these sessions, I didn't even know how to say the word intuition. And I still don't know. I probably don't even know how to spell it. But you got to trust your instincts. You got to believe in your instincts. You got to know that you can pull it off, even when maybe it's not the world that doubts you, it's yourself that doubts you. Because when you make yourself believe that you can do it, you can do anything in this world. I think that's pretty good. 3 lessons. We're on 10 minutes deep. Fuck, that's a world record. But 200 sessions. I really appreciate everybody listening every single week. On the other note, appreciate everybody that's grabbed the book. I genuinely appreciate it. We're going to be doing heaps more promos. I promise. We've got a whole life to, unless I die. We got a few more years, hopefully, to promote this book. Appreciate everybody that showed up every single Monday listening to my bullshit. And there's definitely been some good stuff, not going to lie. Even when I go back and listen to some of my session, I'm like, holy shit, that session was a little bit surprising. But I think fundamentally, the learnings are priceless. And the stuff that we've learned on these sessions and applied on Feature the Creative Agency or Feature Weddings or these Be All sessions consistently, or talking to my friends and my community and being able to really articulate these ideas into the real world and actually execute it so that whatever I learn, I can teach back as quickly as I possibly can in these sessions. So whatever journey you're on, whether you're trying to be an entrepreneur, whether you're creative, whether you're a founder, whether you're an artist, or whether you're aspiring to be just a better person, I know you're listening to these sessions for a reason. And whatever that reason is, just remember, whatever that reason is, listen to that heartbeat. As long as it's beating, you can do it. Keep being a wolf, keep going, and I'll see you next Monday. Peace and love.